I know. No, you don't know.
Everyone agrees that I'm the only one who's not wrong.
Right or wrong, they're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
So
He's got all the feels, man.
Yeah, he likes to do a sustainable tour with 8 tour buses. Yeah, real sustainable guy.
He invented opening a festival, him and Ben Harper. Ben Harper exists to be the first artist on a festival
I
bill.
do like Ben Harper, though.
Fair enough, but you have to admit that he
absolutely. He is at 4:30 in the afternoon at the latest.
On a Friday.
Oh, that's
at
late.
the latest.
That's a Friday, 4:30.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah, no, he's noon on a Saturday.
Yeah, or a Sunday.
11:30.
Maybe 1 o'clock on a Sunday, but yeah.
You keep upping it. No, it was he plays first. That's what Ben Harper does.
Yes, if it's the weekend, it is AM.
Yes. It's no shot at him. I'm sure he makes a good living doing it. But every festival I ever worked, did you ever see a band that was forced to play in the daytime because the bill was so stacked that they had no business playing while the sun was out?
I give you one right away. Interpol. Interpol played like the 2003, I want to say, BC and River Rave down at Great Woods, and they were on an outdoor stage at 2:30 in the afternoon, and it was disorienting to see those guys playing those songs all in black at 2:30 in the afternoon in the sun. It was weird.
Well, I saw Courtney Love solo headline a day of Music Midtown, which again Creed played in front of 100,000 people at, and there might have been 8,000 people watching Courtney Love headline a Sunday, but that was a good crowd because they got to hear her complain about me on stage.
Yes.
Oh, did she do her solo acoustic cover of 13 by Big Star? Because she's the only one to recognize that song and its greatness.
No, I left, but I was told after I left that she had been complaining about me by name.
Oh, nice.
She was intoxicated. I don't know if you could have seen that coming. Her and her friend took some kid that interned for our station and took him on the bus. And I don't know what they did to him, but they took him. And I wasn't jealous. And Courtney Love, for like a period of time, was not an unattractive woman, but she was
just
so...
the smell.
She was such a mess at this point that I wasn't even jealous of the kid. All right. Jaylen Brown has been talking. He loves to live stream. He's been doing so since before the season. You might not know about it on the account of that everyone's live streaming at all times. And so what happens with the live stream is that you get the dopamine release, I would imagine, of the people commenting in real time to the things you say, therefore making you feel very important. But in reality, no one in comparison to the people, the population of the earth is watching that. So the only time anyone hears about anything that you've had to say is when it is at all controversial. Such is the case with Jaylen Brown. Again, people get very upset. They think there is some motivation that is hidden in talking about what he has said. But all I will say is that he is a star player for a local team, and he's speaking openly. Again, I will grant you that I don't watch this stuff, and I don't doubt there's hours and hours of insightful pontification from the gentleman, but that is not what we're playing here. We're playing the moment that people are talking about. I don't know why that's hard for like 7 of you to understand, but you're a very loud 7 people, and you annoy me because the implication is that this is, quite honestly, terribly racist. And but it's not, when you play Stephen A. Smith stuff and goof on it, or Ray Lewis stuff and goof on it, that's not. At least it's not according to the emails I get. But Jaylen Brown, there's a hidden racial dynamic, which I assure you, I've done an inventory of my soul, and I can assure you, this is only because he's a star player from the Celtics. And here is what live streaming gets you. Here is 2.5 minutes of who knows how long he was on.
Let's get into the good stuff. This is where all the clickbaiters is ready to clip.
Yes, so at least he understands, indeed. This is what will be pulled from your live stream. No one wants to hear you talk for this long, except for the people watching, so here's the clickbait.
Let's get into the good stuff. Last week, I had an exchange online with Stephen A., where he was vocal about what he thought I needed to do, and he also said some other things. So
Jason Tatum hasn't appeared on Jaylen Brown's program.
Okay.
You know where Jason Tatum was? Right here on First Take.
Let's pause right there. What type of journalism is this? Jason Tatum hasn't been on my stream, and this is what we're talking about on First Take? What if JT just don't like being somewhere in an uncontrolled environment? People use the term clown. It synchronizes with someone like Stephen A. Smith.
Now, this is Stephen A. Smith's worst nightmare. Someone that he covers attacking him for something he said.
I know.
This isn't what he stays awake at night praying for.
I know.
No.
Well played, Jaylen. He said something innocuous that you took offense to. This is horrible for Stephen A. Smith.
Something that Stephen A. Smith will in no way get in trouble for, yet you're bringing attention to it.
Yeah, well done.
Oh.
Well, this is a man that obviously understands the world of media. And that Jason Tatum's can't handle being on something as unencumbered and unfettered as a live stream.
And then Stephen A. Smith hears that and says,
all of y'all got it going on.
Yeah,
that's right. This is a man that lives in a green screen prison. Stephen A. Smith is on radio, television, or the internet 23 hours a day. And some of that is just a video of him sleeping.
Because this is what you're using your platform for. What are you talking about?
You're saying it's the year that Jason Tatum was down with an Achilles tear is your favorite year? The year that Jason Tatum had to sit out.
Can y'all hear it?
I turned it up. I can hear it already.
I can hear it. I can hear it twice with the echo.
I can hear it twice because he's at a carnival dunk tank, apparently.
No, this is where this is just Jaylen Brown. He has a guy working for him, apparently, which is interesting. He sets up all the equipment, and he's decided to play it over a speaker so the microphone that they're using can pick it up. Well done. He's paying the guy good money for that. Couldn't figure out how to just get it on the stream. Okay.
Can y'all hear it?
I turned it up. I can hear it already.
That's your favorite year? The year?
I think they might be able to hear it better now.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. Yeah, why go on First Take when you can do this?
Well, that's a controlled environment. First Take.
Yeah, this is. You don't get all these, mishaps when you're in a controlled environment.
He's afraid to go on a show that has lots of technological problems.
Right. Oh. Fearing that it might look this DIY nature of it, the punk rock nature of the Jaylen Brown stream, doesn't conform to Jason's buttoned up attitude.
Can y'all hear
it? Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's your favorite year? The year?
I think they might be able to hear it better now.
Pull this up a little bit.
Which one?
That top, yeah. Go.
Yeah, man.
Stop.
They're acting very cool for something that's going completely wrong.
Yeah,
they're above the mishaps that are happening to them.
Pull this up a little bit.
Which one?
That top, yeah. Go this way.
Does that annoy anyone else that they're talking like that?
No, I think it's cool.
Like this non-disturbed, mellowness is not fitting with the mishap that's going on.
Nope, I like
Just
it.
Talk like normal.
It's like ASMR for me. Keep it rolling.
I'll tell you what's ASMR. Don't step on my toes. I don't start telling you what's going on in golf tournaments. I'll tell you what relaxing ASMR has been up to. His sister died.
Oh, it's terrible.
No, it's not good. I'm just telling you I know that.
Oh.
Which one?
That top, yeah. Go this way. Keep going. Try there. Yeah.
So this is a narrative that he's creating. This isn't journalism. This is him.
Yeah, as opposed to you, which is not journalism.
Making his own opinion and formalizing it about what I had to say.
Yes, that's his job. I don't quite understand what you're saying. He's not a New York Times reporter.
It's not Edward R. Murrow. He's a
talking head.
He's a commentator.
He's a guy on a show called Takes. Take is in the title of all these ESPN shows. It's Take. Take. First take. Take. The idea is that you come in with formulated opinions that people will disagree with, essentially. You don't want them agreeing.
Right.
So Stephen A. Smith is popular because the formula is to hear things devise a thought upon them, whether it's true or untrue, and then pontificate away. And you reacting to it is exactly what it's engineered to do. You're furthering the narrative.
On his platform, and this is why, respectfully, a lot of people say Stephen A. Because this is the type of stuff he does, and then he doesn't recognize it. But he's creating a narrative saying that the reason why I'm saying that I had my favorite season is because selfishly I had a best performing year. Not the fact that we outproved expectations, not the fact that everybody expected us to be nothing and we had to fight and we showed up.
See, that you're a Celtics fan, John.
Yep.
That's not great. I mean, whatever with the Tatum thing, and that's all here or there. I can't say what he's thinking, but I can say it doesn't matter that you lost in the first round of the playoffs. This is no hot take. All right. If I'm a Celtics fan, I'm a little annoyed considering this team won a championship.
As a Celtics fan, I'm disappointed, very disappointed with the way the season ended. And to hear Jaylen Brown say this, regardless of whatever spin he is now putting on it afterwards, I'm a little disappointed that he said that too.
So take the team that lost last night, the Pistons. And after the game, someone with the Pistons said, look, we're not overly disappointed. This is a process. Okay, fair enough. You haven't won anything. This was an evolution in you. You made it to another round.
You
won a round.
Sure, you came from a different place than the Celtics came from.
So
yes.
Brown's 29. He's part of a core that has won a championship. That core was back together for the playoffs, and they were upset by a huge underdog in an embarrassing fashion.
An underdog that went out and got their asses kicked the very next round.
And when John says asses kicked, if you weren't paying attention, he's not just referring to the sweep. He's referring to the way those games were played.
They lost by 32 of those 4 games, I think.
If you were going to define an ass kicking, the Sixers Knicks series would be number 1 of an ass kicking.
And we competed every single day, and we had to fight for every victory. Like, he maybe now doesn't understand that because maybe he's never had to fight for nothing in his life. Maybe
no. Stephen A's fought for nothing. He got the job at ESPN because of his dad. What are you talking about?
I don't.
He's had to fight for everything. Athletes. The guy's constantly fighting for himself. Stephen A. Smith wasn't handed anything.
Athletes in general should know or do know.
In fact, you were handed more than him because you were born into that body. I mean, Stephen A. Smith, ugly looking guy. He wasn't gonna. They weren't gonna put him on TV because of his looks. And look, I'm ugly too, and I'm not on TV. They looked at me and they said, "Get off." Stephen A. Smith's not a handsome man. He's not on there because he's cute. He's on there because he had to fight for everything that he got. Come on.
I don't understand what the end game of this is. It's a losing battle. You're going to lose. In this arena, you're going to lose to Stephen A. Smith 10 times out of 10, but you're feeding him.
There's 2 things, John. A, if it's funny, then okay. Or B, if, you're going for the jugular in, a way that's almost unhinged. These are the 2 ways that I think that you might win.
Yeah.
Humor or unhinged attack. This is just light bitching, which I don't care for.
Anytime adversity is hit, he's rolled over or he's gave in.
How is that possible? He's under constant adversity. LeBron James tried to get him fired. LeBron James worked behind the scenes to get Stephen A. Smith fired. That's true. This is crazy. He's had to deal with a tremendous amount of adversity. Just because he doesn't play on a basketball team that lost in the first round doesn't mean he's worthless and has not had to fight for anything. I mean, there's guys that grew up in horrible poverty that got a job driving a bus, that they could support a family that overcame incredible things. You don't have to be an athlete.
That doesn't compare to the adversity you face when you somehow find yourself forced into a Game 7 in a series that you were supposed to win. That's a different type of adversity. I don't mean to
be Pollyannic here, but talk to a lady that's going to community college with 3 kids and working nights. I mean, there's different adversities, Mr. Brown. You don't have to have See?
I like that.
So I used a woman
good.
and I used
you
low
white
income.
knighted that a little bit.
Very,
Good for
very
you.
impressive sitting
Good
over
for
here
you.
watching.
Kaboom.
Very impressive.
Yeah, thank you. See? Now I'm above reproach because I used that example.
That's right.
Now I'm the hero of this story. Thank you for noticing that.
Smart.
This is what Stephen A. is using his platform for. Let's see what he finishes with.
First order of business is that he needs to be quiet and like big.
Let me stop right there. Did he just say I needed to be quiet? Be quiet for who? Man, Stephen A. Stephen A, Stephen B, Stephen C.
I apologize. It does get funny.
Like, my offer still stands. You want me to be quiet and stop streaming? Well, I want you to be quiet and get off these networks because you're not using your platform to do real journalism.
Well, the problem is he's making millions and millions and millions of dollars doing that. So he would be taking quite a cash hit. You make millions and millions of dollars playing basketball. He's not saying you to be quiet. See, what Jaylen Brown is taking that as to mean is don't pontificate upon the issues.
Don't do your job.
What Jaylen Brown is saying is he's saying don't just shut up and dribble, which is obviously not what Stephen A. Smith is saying. He's saying don't talk after you lose in the first round is what he's saying.
And say things that sound like either excuse making or trying to paint the season in a different type of light, because really all Celtics fans want to hear right now is some kind of shared disappointment in the way things ended, and maybe trying to understand how they don't want to. It's not great for Celtics fans to hear that this was your favorite season.
Yeah, and also
they may not dig that.
With the way politicians and the media is speaking in general, it's a little hard to have the pitchforks out for Stephen A. Smith making fun of Jaylen Brown. There's much bigger things happening on this planet as we speak. Dan, go ahead.
Here we go again. We're attacking people because of the color of their skin. I mean, just because Eddie Trunk is what? Wait, Jaylen Brown. Damn it. Who are you talking about?
All right. Thank you, Dan. I had to address that head on. People don't like. There's some people they do not like when you talk to Jaylen Brown, of Jaylen Brown. They think that it's off the table.
It's just mystifying. Maybe he's done this all the time after every season, and we didn't know about it. But he needs to stop. He needs to stop doing this.
Well, he doesn't have to do anything. He's going to keep his job.
I know this, but he
doesn't. But it doesn't. He's not doing himself any favors if he doesn't want things like Stephen A. Smith's talking. And let's be honest, objectively, that was not overly clever. Anything he just said, it just sounds
the Stephen
like
A, Stephen B, Stephen C thing,
right?
That struck a nerve, and
as someone who complains for a living, I give that a D+ complaining. Now,
one thing if he had this narrative that he had to get out there and he had to, he had so much to get off his chest, but now he's picking like lame fights with Stephen A. Smith over non-issues. I don't think that needs to be said. I don't think Jaylen Brown thinks it needs to be said. I think Jaylen Brown is operating from a standpoint of he somehow has content that he needs to fill. Like there's some time that he needs to.
Fair enough.
And that's not the case,
right?
Jaylen.
Like he has an obligation to do this stream.
No, I don't think you are obligated to do that.
And if you want to play audio from media people and make fun of it, I can come and sit on and help. I made a whole living doing it.
Can y'all hear?
Yeah. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. We will give our award-winning email segment. Why not?
I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. Our email segment is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens. It's 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. You can email us. You can go to 985thesportshub.com to find out how to do that. You can go to social media at Toucher and Hardy on Instagram and Twitter, at Hardy985 on both of those, and at Fred Toucher on Instagram. This is from Heath. Wallach's dumb, boring trips. With all this discussion about Wallach's lame trips, John goes to suburban Philadelphia all the time. Is there any like body of water or anything around there that you can use?
Not that I can use. No.
Okay.
No.
Is there any like
the Atlantic Ocean doesn't count, right? So no, I can't use. There's no.
How
like,
far are you
lake
from the
or
Atlantic
anything.
Ocean?
20 miles.
Yeah. So you're not by the Atlantic
Right.
Ocean.
Yeah.
Just like you're saying Natick's by the Atlantic Ocean.
It's very similar. Yes.
Yeah. It sounded that geographical trip doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's true.
So, but there's like, why are there homes in that area? Is there any reason?
No.
Topography wise?
No.
Okay.
No. It's really eye-opening when we're driving out this route called 422 to get to her mother's place, and she would say to me, when I was a kid, this road didn't exist. There was nothing out here. So all of this has been recently developed in the last 20 to 25 years.
So it's the house that your wife grew up in?
No. She doesn't live there anymore, but mother moved out of that house.
Oh, okay.
So she moved further west to be closer to my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law who have homes out there.
Oh, okay. So your wife didn't grow up in the house that you go to
now?
Okay,
no.
now. Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. So it says, with all this discussion about Wallach's lame trips, I've been struggling to think of the most boring trips my parents dragged me on. Here's what I've come up with. Number one, driving to the Grand Canyon in August in a minivan with no AC. The Grand Canyon seems to be a bold thing to drive to, in that it seems that, an hour of wonder would be enough with the Grand Canyon. I don't doubt that it's an incredible experience to stand in front of it. I do doubt the relevancy of going down into it.
So after college, before I was only 10 in bar, and I didn't have my first radio job yet. I drove out to L.A. because I went to school with a couple of people who lived out there, and they're like, you should come to L.A. I'm like, all right, I got nothing else to do. So I packed up and I started driving west. And I stopped at the Meteor Crater in Arizona by myself.
Hell yeah, I've been there. Rules.
Of course you have. And then I went to the Grand Canyon. I'm like, well, I'm pretty close. All you got to do is head north off of 40 here and get there for a while. And as you said, Fred, it's like it's indescribable when it comes to the actual presence of being there, but it's an hour.
Yeah.
And you look at it, and after a while, unless you're going to hike down and do some stuff, but I was by myself, I had no money. I went there and I looked at it for an hour and then I left.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd need to go down into it. I'm like, I think that seeing it would be, this is beautiful, but I don't know if I'd have to go into it. 2, driving to Western New York for my grandmother's funeral. Or number 3, driving to Gettysburg, PA, to the unsettling, boring Civil War drive-through narrated tour by tape. Well, when I was a kid, my mom wouldn't fly. Now, she got over that late or in middle school. She got over not flying. So I had one set of grandparents that lived in, like I said, central Long Island in Kings Park, which was no fun. And then my grandmother had retired to Lakeland, Florida, which is just south of Ocala. And again, you want to talk about not being by the water. And I've just had an argument about this with my parents. They said, well, there was a lake. And I'm like, yeah, not that one that people went in. It was a lake that was walked around. It's like the Brookline Reservoir. There was there was water sitting there, but it wasn't stuff you went into. There wasn't boats on it.
Yeah, it's something pretty to look at.
Yeah.
All right.
Florida Southern was there, and that were Frank Lloyd Wright stuff. But I mean, my goodness.
This is from Richie from Weston. Hey, Wallach, I took last Friday off from work, too. I had a stomach virus, and I spent 3 days in the bathroom. Stop, period. Next paragraph. And I still had a much better weekend than you did.
No.
I don't like that.
Doesn't seem right. That seems kind of mean. Did you see a great golf tournament? I don't think so. Do you see the best in the world do something? No.
Ben said, with regard to your trip to London, what's wrong with Wallach? I gasped when he said he was going to London to see Wimbledon, but won't buy the tickets and will instead go wait in a long line. Yeah, it makes no sense, John.
It's not to go to London to see Wimbledon, not just that. It's one day out of 7 or 8. I think it's 8 we're going to spend there.
Are you going to be disappointed if you're in London and you don't go to Wimbledon?
No. I won't be disappointed.
All right.
No, they'll be happy that they got up early, took the tube down there, and stood in line for 3 hours not to go in.
In 95-degree heat, don't forget.
I don't know if it's going to be that hot.
July in London? Yeah.
It was, the one time I was there, it was 4 years ago this summer, and it was 90 degrees.
Yes.
It was...
Well, the thing that's cool is that Wimbledon is, and I'm not being sarcastic, is Wimbledon is like right there. Like, because I went to a concert and we took the, whatever, I don't want to make it sound like I know what I'm talking about.
The tube.
The train.
You took the tube. Yes.
Or the underground. And,
mind the gap.
And I was like, oh, wow, Wimbledon's like the next stop. Mm-hmm. And we were like in the middle of London. I thought that was kind of cool. So then I got into my head that I'd go to Wimbledon. And then I looked, and it was a huge pain in the ass, and I was like, I'm not going to do it. So good on you for for going without even having a plan. This is from Thomas. Fred, maybe more of a topic for Shooting the Breeze. Well, what is email except for written Shooting the Breeze? But someone with an encyclopedic knowledge of sitcoms of the late 90s, early aughts, how many times have you seen the Bret Michaels episode of Yes, Dear? And where does that rank among the golden age of television episodes from that era? Is it third behind The Contest and Pine Barrens? Please advise. Love you guys. Tom in Florida. Now, you guys are, obviously, John, you're familiar with Yesterday because of the local connection.
Yes. Now, did I watch a lot of episodes? No, okay, but I am familiar with it.
Right, and you'll remember Boston Common was the show that the Southern gentleman had starred in before his turn on Yesterday.
Yes, I do remember that. Yes.
So you thought I was going to go O'Malley on
I
you,
did.
the local
I thought
guy,
you were totally going
but I didn't
O'Malley.
do that.
All
I
right.
went, you remember Boston Common,
yes,
which had the little Southern guy on
Yeah.
who then became the lead fastidious gentleman
He
on
was the
Yesterday.
straight guy to Mike O'Malley's, like,
but on Boston Common, he was anything but straight. He was the comic relief on that show, if you'll recall. So he was a versatile actor who you don't hear a lot from anymore. I loosely remember the Bret Michaels episode, not entirely. There was nothing, sadly enough, to masturbate to on that show. So I found myself in a little bit of a quandary when that would come on.
Last week, we implored Nicholas to apply for the fart monitoring study at the University of Maryland, only to find out they had received their acceptable number of applicants. Mm-hmm. This from Giuliano?
Sure.
I don't know how to say your name. I just got around to last Tuesday's show when you talked about the fart monitor at the University of Maryland. I am a professor at the University of Maryland. I checked. I don't know the professor of the fart studies, but I'm sure he's a friend of a friend. Let me know if there's anything you need on the ground in College Park.
Yes, I would like to have the guy who's doing the fart study on the show, and I'm not kidding. Yes, if we could email that gentleman and get the information and get that guy on the show, that would be fantastic.
Yes.
Send it along.
And then I believe that if we could just talk to him and reason with him, he'd let Nick in the study. And then every day we could go over Nick's results. And that would be fun for Nick.
Great.
And then imagine when Luigi and Clyde, your kids, get older, and you then can share with them all your fart data. You can maybe put it in a book when they graduate high school.
Cackamungus.
You know,
what are the names again?
Luigi and Clyde.
I see.
Because I remember with the first one, we were calling him Luigi, and then I don't even remember anything about the second one.
Woof, woof.
Let alone the name. But in fairness, he's a baby. I don't know, Nick's not mentioning him by name.
Yeah.
Well, the name is
Sias Concert?
That's the baby's name.
Thank you.
It took him a while. You remember, it was a couple of days.
Well, they were
going
going to name the baby Milo. That I remember. Because that would have been like oh my God. That would have been very strange.
Yeah.
Stalkerish.
Well, I mean, it's like you named him after your hero. This kid.
He wasn't so awesome today, though.
Finally, we were discussing the late Julio Lugo earlier. Brendan emailed to say, I was playing golf with a buddy who casually mentioned that his buddy who worked for the Red Sox said Julio Lugo would walk around the locker room naked because he had a huge one. No idea how this came up, but it's all I ever think of when I hear that name.
Which is very odd for a professional locker room. If you recall, when we first started the Sports Hub, Crash got a pass to the Patriots locker room and then was told never to come back.
Oh, they didn't like that at all.
Because he was interviewing someone. Who was the linebacker that walked by? He was the Ravens guy that was on the team.
Adalius Thomas.
So Crash was. This is actually pretty funny. If I heard the show and you were like, who are these losers on this sports talk station? And you heard that might win me over. Because Crash was interviewing someone else, and then he started cracking up because Adalius Thomas walked by, and he started cracking up, and we're like, what were you cracking up about? And he's like, Adalius Thomas was huge. And, like, that whole conversation was so unprofessional that I think I might have, and you know, we didn't.
It was endearing in a way.
Like, we knew it was incredibly, I was under no misconception that was in any way professional. Now, the Patriots had to say something, obviously. I mean, you got to say something. I don't think they were legitimately mad, but I think that, decency says you at least have to reach out and say, don't do that again. And maybe he doesn't come back in the locker room, which was crushing. Because no one from any show I've ever been affiliated with again has ever wanted a pass to go into the locker room. Mm-hmm. It's not fun. All right. We'll be back. It's not a middle-aged man's dream to go into a NFL locker room. Being on the field's cool before the game. Don't need to be in the locker room. No. All right. We'll be back to steer the ship to port in these rocky seas. We'll have that for you after the headlines.
We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy, and, John went to the PGA Championship in loosely suburban Philadelphia, more like rural Pennsylvania. And Hardy did one of his 3 live 98.5 The Golf Club shows this weekend. So in honor of that, I will replay a brief call that Hardy took from one fake blind Scott.
Welcome back to the Sports Hub Golf Club. Let's get to the phones here. No, it's not Fred Toucher. It's someone even better. Fake blind Scott joining us now on the program this morning. Fake blind Scott. What's happening this morning?
Good morning, Hardy. I heard you talking about golf, and that reminded me of the time Taylor Gooch threw a punch at me at the Carnoustie Golf and Jumanji Club, right? He was having dinner with a bunch of his golf buddies, and all I did was pat Nick Faldo on his head and tell him what a bunch of whimsical creatures the English are. And all of a sudden, it's sir, please this. And hey, these credentials are forged that. And release Rob Oppenheim's nipples at once, But luckily for me, Jeremiah Xanadu, the private first-class sandscaper of Kernwood Golf Club and Dock Arts Santorium, was there, and he smoothed everything over for me. Yeah. Hey, listen, while I got you here, do you have Fred's door code handy? He changed it again and forgot to tell me the new one, right? Probably because of all the women he gets now.
Right.
He gets more action than an Alabama donkey, right? He is buried in it.
Okay.
So, I guess I'll just wait down here until Fred wakes up.
Okay.
I got the Sunday funnies here, but Beetle Bailey was omitted.
Okay.
No, good. The cops are here to get me into Fred's.
Thank you, blind Scott. I appreciate.
All right, there you go.
He's buried in that thing.
Just so many Easter eggs in that one.
Bailey.
Yeah, we learned that Adam figured out that he mentioned Beetle Bailey because of Blaze Bailey being omitted, along with Ripper
It's a
Owens.
great bit. Yeah, well, I'm not happy about
He's buried in her.
That's right. Buried in it was another one.
I was living there.
I just like that finally people are. It's becoming part of the zeitgeist. Eddie Trunks railing against the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's really sticking it to those fat cats, and I enjoy that.
Fred, just one final thing here today is you have been very unsupportive of my desire to try Adderall and get on this. It turns out that Australians have been substituting their ADHD medication with cocaine due to the scarcity of the proper ADHD medication. So,
but they're so much different.
Well, apparently,
they're one molecule off or something, and one chemical piece away from each other.
Apparently, the Australians very much into cocaine. Anyway, Nearly 5% of people aged 14 and over have used cocaine in the previous 12 months.
Whoa. Say it again.
5% of Australians aged 14 and over have done cocaine in the last 12 months.
In what publication is that?
EDMtunes.com.
Oh, of course.
I'm calling to question that study.
Oh, let him have his fun. It's fine.
Cocaine's not legal
and that's
in
according to
Australia,
the Herald Sun.
Boy, that is a tremendous amount of cocaine use.
A million Australians.
Do you think in 1972 the U.S. cocaine usage was 5%?
According to the movie Blow, it was.
Because
everybody was doing it.
At any point, that would have been it. Because they really didn't think that cocaine was addictive. They that's not a joke. Like, they didn't believe that. They believed that it wasn't addictive. So, like, people were like, wow, this is great. Like, that we're getting this is a tremendous, what luck. But then the government stepped in and ruined it. Yeah. So 5% seems really high in the last year. Woof. I've never done cocaine. And if I haven't done it, no one's done it. Hardy's lying. All right. That'll do it for us.
I'm just saying, I try the Adderall, you try the cocaine.
I like me trying the cocaine more than I like you trying the Adderall.
Agreed.
All right. That'll do it for us. Everyone have a great day. Bye.